How are you guys going?
Very well.
Fantastic. Very relaxed today.
Yeah.
Very relaxed. We don't have a show tonight, so we're just on the feast today.
Eating and drinking our way around.
Yeah, just stopping off every single coffee shop in Surrey Hills.
Yeah, trying to find the best flat white.
It's an honourable mission.
What's the best you found so far?
Gnome.
Gnome is
far.
pretty decent, yeah.
Gnome is truly spectacular.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, but we'll keep looking. There's plenty more we haven't tried yet. Gotta try McDonald's flat white. You know, it's only fair, isn't it?
It seems like when you guys come down here, you get to spend a lot of time in Sydney.
Yes, well, that's just, we're really fortunate, really. I don't really know how.
We tend to do sometimes, 2-3 shows.
Yeah.
So I think that gives us the...
usually helps us out, yeah.
Spare time, a bit of recuperation of just the general flying and, just... It's good to park up for a minute,
I guess technically Sydney is central in terms of the touring route that we do, So we went up to Cairns and we'll be in Perth, but kind of Sydney, Melbourne is kind of our main place where we end up relaxing. Yeah, it's good. We often do 2 or 3 shows, we've got so many songs, so it's kind of good that we can, because shows in the States you can play for like 3 hours if you want. Whereas here, it's not. There's so much in the culture, which is understandable because who wants to? He wants to hear 3 hours of live music. Yeah.
You could do it with an intermission or something.
Oh yeah.
Little, get little fruit platters out.
Ice cream going around.
Ice cream.
Yeah.
Oh, schooners at BB. Oh, good day, mate.
Well, you guys both live in America. I mean, you certainly have a very different selection of beer over there.
The beer in the States is not great.
It's worthless, really, to be honest.
Others better.
At the moment, all the
standard ones that you buy in your supermarket are all rubbish.
Yeah.
But there's some local,
all the smaller breweries and stuff. So it's the whole scene of like a lot of German beer halls and all this kind of going on. So there are all these.
That's good times.
Ales coming out. It's pretty good stuff. You got to be careful though because they're generally really strong. You got 2 or 3 of those and
you can't see anymore.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, it's getting better in the States. The best place in the world for beer is Germany, I would say that, really.
Or Belgium.
Or Belgium, or Germany.
Those guys.
Yeah. They've got it nailed. They really have got it nailed. And the Japanese do pretty good too.
Yeah.
Aussie beer is not really for me though. Sorry. I used to drink it, but now I just can't do it anymore. I had too many minibar crowns and just can't go there anymore. Yeah.
Well, you do have plenty of time to drink on the road, though, and
this is true.
What is a day in the life of Gomez on the road like? I mean, I think you've summed it up with your coffee explorations.
Well, to be honest, it depends. It's very different.
Over here, it's a little different.
If we take our three main places, being America, UK, and Australia, the general day in Australia, most of the days involves getting forced out of bed around 7, and then a great clattering of goons in the lobby and
lots of gear being assembled.
Because you have to fly everywhere, obviously. Stuff everywhere. Checking in takes like an hour, and there's lots of people doing this, and then basically everybody passes out on the plane, comes back alive like 1 o'clock, go to the hotel, maybe shower, do sound check, eat, gig. That's the standard. Get drunk, go back to the hotel, and then repeat it over and over again. That's the standard Aussie day.
Yeah.
Standard American day is somewhat different though, because you wake up on a tour bus, so you wake up in the city that you're playing that night. So that's a little different.
That makes it
different challenge though, because finding food is more complicated. Because you might wake up in Kansas in the middle of absolutely nowhere on a bus, and it's 110 degrees, and you haven't had a shower, and you don't know where you are, and you don't really know what you're gonna do. And then, so that's a different challenge altogether. It kind of is like that in the UK, but with less sleep.
Yeah, it's about right. It's a bit easier to kind of, whatever town you're in, it's a lot easier to find stuff. But,
yeah, the challenges are just different depending on where you are. But the challenges are very rudimentary challenges. They're simple challenges of seeking rest, shelter, showers, food. It's pretty, you become quite, it's like Neanderthal in a way, isn't it?
Yeah, we just grunt our way around until we find things we need.
Yeah, that is a good way of putting it, actually. There's very little in terms of, oh, let's go to the Modern Art Museum today. You know, that doesn't really happen so much on tour.
It's certainly a unique way to see the world. And
yes.
You're touring a new album now. A New Tide changed the direction of the way you guys recorded your records.
Yeah.
You're all scattered around the world, and that seemed more out of, for A New Tide, it was more out of, well, this is the only real way we can do it at the time.
Yeah.
You had so many things going on. So you went back and did it again for the new record.
Well, we basically, at the very end of the New Tide record, we hatched on the way that we could work that was going to be really useful in the future. The problem with the New Tide record is that we hadn't learnt that at the beginning of the record. We only figured it out right at the very, very end when we did the Airstream Driver song, that it was much easier to just kind of not be in the studio and write the songs, and because you can write it. I mean, writing for us is, you know, the original song idea, and then the main part of it is the creation of what sounds and what parts and blah blah blah, and editing and all that kind of stuff, all of which you can do alone and not in a studio with the clock ticking and people getting restless and stuff. So it was refining.
It was kind of, and yeah, bringing on everybody else more so, because we were doing it to some degree.
Yeah, me and Olly had been kind of, we were sort of ahead in the Logic, you know, computer universe. I guess because, you know, we like making dance music a lot, so that's kind of a really good tool for that. And then eventually it sort of dawned on us when we were all scattered around everywhere that
we did have one session at the very, very start of making this record in
and
Chicago.
it was a disaster, wasn't it?
It was like about 5 days in a house, and it literally consisted of 5 guys in the same room, about 3 meters apart kind of thing, all with a computer and their own headphones, doing their own thing. It was like,
that was when we knew
there's no point us being together in this room at all.
Yeah.
I'm not going to listen to your song because I'm working on my own, and you're working, you don't really care about that. So it was kind of obvious that we should just go home and just not see each other.
Yeah, just do it in the solitude of our own prisons, you know.
But it worked out really well, and it was a really good process. I think we would take it on board and, you know, definitely utilize it again, you know.
Yeah, I can only imagine as, you know, budgets and everything changes, and the fact that if, you know, you own a laptop, you own a recording studio now. I mean, if you own an iPad, you own a recording studio. I mean, most people have got this stuff on their person at all times now. So I don't think, we're not really necessarily trailblazing our way into this really obvious thing that's going to just start happening.
There's a lot of sites now that do this, you know, people interacting or remixing their own tunes. I don't know how many bands have like done a full album in this way. I'm sure there has been, but it's definitely our only real method we can kind of do it, and it's kind of natural. And so far, besides having a few limitations of, say, not having a drum kit in a room or being able to turn up with, you know, a guitar amp at ridiculous levels in your own house, there's a few limitations. It's good.
Yeah.
And when it comes down to the actual, you know, putting it all together, how is that decision made that let's go for this song, let's not go for that song, or does that go along as you go through the process?
Well, exactly. That goes along unguided by anybody. It's just, I mean, the easy, you know, everybody's putting up stuff into this box, and you can download whatever you want and change it and then put it back up or not, you know. So any song that you put up that nobody, well, I mean, everybody downloaded everything and listened to everything, of course, but, you know, anything that didn't sort of gain momentum through other people adding stuff, it fell by the wayside. It just fell by the wayside but, you know, in the past, that has caused problems in the band, because it's like one person's like, no, this is really good, this song, and everyone else is like, no, it's not, you know.
Yeah,
but if you take that out of the equation by simply, well, we'll just focus on the positive things that are going forward.
That was one of the most liberating parts of it. The sort of the, you know, like, say, each Friday we would send around a lot of tracks that arrive, you'd download them, you'd be like, God, that is terrible. Oh my God. I'm never going to do anything on that. But then somebody else's song was wonderful. It's like, okay, I'm inspired, so I'm going to work on this one.
It was like sort of some strange soup that eventually 10 things just rose to the top.
Yeah.
And once we had those 10 things, that's when we went to the studio.
Yeah, we only decided to enter the studio when everything was we knew what songs we were going to record, which we'd never done before as well.
Yeah, it's really cool because there wasn't any talking discussions. It was just a musical thing that happened, and then eventually we had enough stuff. So it's good. No talking.
Yeah.
And what does the rest of the year? What does the rest of the year hold for you guys?
Touring.
A lot of touring.
A lot of touring. That's it.
We do, yeah, England and Europe and back to America and
playing in Switzerland.
Switzerland, the middle of Switzerland.
Playing in the Swiss Alps. That'll be fun. Yeah, all over the place. You know, we get to do it. We haven't done the west coast of the States yet, which is kind of one of probably our most beloved area of the world to tour. You know, it's just a good time straight all the way down the coast. So we haven't done that yet on this record.
Yeah,
that's going to be good. And then we'll probably try and make our way back here.
Yeah, it'd be nice to come back here for sure.
At some point, you know, maybe in the summer.
Yeah.
We don't know yet, but we're just trying to figure everything out. But yeah, touring.
Well, we hope to see you back here again very soon. It was great seeing you guys at Splendour the other day.
Yes, thank you.
And yeah, thanks for taking the time to talk to us today.
Cheers, mate.
Cool, man.
No problem.